sous la pression de Daniel Ricciardo. Oui, c'était pas simple.
Fighting two different cars against each other for the championship instead of always one team, and then you just have a teammate battle.
Why is Max Verstappen so arrogant? Why is he so short-tempered? What makes him so intolerant of his teammates? We're finally diving into the details to figure out if there is any truth to these allegations. Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix with his team getting the best traction. It's a moment of sheer dominance as Verstappen totally owns the 2023 season, smashing some seriously historic records. And this isn't Max's first rodeo, he's been setting records for years since he burst onto the scene. Today, we'll be talking about everything visible and not visible about Max Verstappen, what our eyes can see and what they cannot. You'll be amazed to find out how less you know about the hero. The son of the former Formula 1 driver Jos Verstappen, Max Verstappen is one of the youngest race winners in F1 history and a three-time world champion. As well as a famously fast father, Max Verstappen's mother, Sophie, was also a successful kart driver. Max Verstappen is the youngest driver to ever start a Grand Prix as he was just 17 years and 3 days old when he made his debut at the 2015 Australian Grand Prix. The reigning F1 champion secured a jaw-dropping $110 million following his dominant performance in the 2023 season, winning an astounding 86% of the races. With bonuses and endorsements factored in, Verstappen's net worth soared to approximately $165.5 million. All of this sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Looking at the back-to-back records, which are still coming by the way, everything looks super golden, blemish-free. But Verstappen is after all a human. No man lives a life on a bed of roses. When looked into with a sharper eye, we see so many things that Formula fans will be definitely interested in. Firstly, Max Verstappen is a reborn version of the Formula 1 legend, Ayrton Senna. Only better. On May 1, 1994, Brazilian Formula 1 driver Ayrton Senna was killed after his car crashed into a concrete barrier. Senna has a special place in the hearts of many motorsport fans. His 3 titles give a sense of what could have been had he not died at the San Marino Grand Prix in 1994. We're witnessing what Senna could have been with the face of Max Verstappen. Despite being criticized for aggressively stabbing the throttle through corners instead of gradually easing into it, Senna dominated the sport. He thrived under intense pressure and adverse weather conditions, amassing an impressive record of 41 first-place finishes and 80 podiums over a decade. In those days, he was a legend too good to be true. Today, there is one driver who embodies Senna's greatness, Max Verstappen. For a brief period in Formula 1 history, both Senna and Max Verstappen's father, Jos, shared the racetrack. The year was 1994, and Jos Verstappen, the reigning champion of German Formula 3, was making waves in the racing world. His talent caught attention of Benetton's Flavio Briatore, who saw promise in the young driver and appointed him as the team's test driver and rising star. At that time, the coveted race seats at Benetton were held by the legendary Michael Schumacher and JJ Leto. Fate played its cards right when Leto suffered a neck injury during preseason testing. He got ruled out from the opening races of the season. This turn of events propelled Jos Verstappen into the limelight. That was the start of go-karting for Max even before he was born. This was the same year that the Formula 1 racing faced a shaking moment when Senna died in a tragic accident on the track. How can both very important and so deeply related events happen in the same year? Fast forward to nearly 3 decades, the spotlight now shines on Max Verstappen, the son of Jos Verstappen. During those 3 decades, Jos Verstappen builds a decent Formula racing career and gets married to a go-kart racer. The love and passion and cutthroat competition for Formula racing had been growing and flourishing all this time. And then came 1997 when Max Verstappen was born. From the time Max was 3, go-karting had become a part of his life. At the 2023 Canadian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen surpassed Ayrton Senna's milestone of 41 Grand Prix victories, etching his name into the annals of F1 history. Many people are calling him the Senna of this era, and it's not hard to see why. Let's begin with Max's racing style. Max Verstappen's way of driving is often compared to old-school legends like Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna once said, "If you don't go for a gap that exists, you're not a racing driver. and Max Verstappen seems to follow that idea. Sometimes, though, his aggressive racing style can be a bit too much. Early in Max's F1 career, if the other driver didn't give in, Verstappen might end up crashing into them. In 2012, Toto Wolff, the head of the Mercedes team, described Verstappen's racing style as win it or bin it. This means Verstappen is ready to take significant risks to secure a victory, even if it means risking a crash. Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen's rival, confessed in an interview that he adjusts his driving approach when competing against Verstappen. Hamilton believes that if you don't anticipate Verstappen's aggressive moves and make concessions, you could end up crashing and compromising yourself. Besides sharing a similar aggressive style with Senna, both Ayrton Senna and Max Verstappen displayed remarkable talent even before entering the Formula 1 circuit. Both drivers garnered attention during their time in Formula 3 racing. Interestingly, they bypassed certain intermediate steps in their racing careers. Senna skipped European Formula 2, while Verstappen opted out of competing in GP2. Senna's debut in F3 at Thruxton in 1982 was spectacular. He went on to win 12 out of the 20 races in the British F3 Championship in 1983. Senna's exceptional performance in F3 propelled him directly into Formula 1 without participating in European Formula 2. In exactly the same way, Verstappen moved swiftly from karting to the fiercely competitive F3 European Championship in 2014. Despite facing tough rivals like Esteban Ocon, Tom Blomqvist, and others, Verstappen won 10 out of 30 races, displaying exceptional talent. His victory in the non-championship Masters of F3 at Zandvoort further underscored his skill. Recognizing Verstappen's potential, Red Bull surprised the F1 world by announcing him as their next driver at Toro Rosso. In the world of motorsport, what's intriguing is how Ayrton Senna and Max Verstappen's early F1 journeys mirror each other. It is absolutely unbelievable. Even the non-superstitious ones would believe that there is something supernatural going on. Senna's death prevented him from getting more titles, and he's continuing his journey to glory in the body of Max Verstappen. Senna faced a winless debut season with Toleman, mirroring Verstappen's initial stint with Toro Rosso. Senna secured 2 victories in 3 consecutive seasons with Lotus, while Verstappen notched 10 wins in his first 5 campaigns with Red Bull. The narrative takes an even more captivating turn when both gain access to top-tier machinery. Senna, partnering with McLaren, clinched a minimum of 6 wins in each of his first 4 seasons. In parallel fashion, Verstappen asserted his dominance with Red Bull, claiming 10 wins in 2021, another 15 in 2022, and 19 in 2023. Both Max Verstappen and Ayrton Senna have won 3 F1 titles. What's really interesting is how they both had a strong connection with Honda, the engine supplier. Senna won his titles with McLaren using Honda engines. How similar are both racers' careers is simply astonishing. Max Verstappen also has the credit for destroying the whole drivers' lineup of the Red Bull's team. He has been involved in every major driver decision since joining the team, often leading to swift changes and tough decisions for other drivers. After just 4 races in 2016, Daniel Kvyat was demoted back to Toro Rosso, and his career struggled to regain momentum from there. Pierre Gasly and Alexander Albon, despite initial opportunities at Red Bull, faced challenges in matching Max's performance and were eventually replaced. He might be the reborn legend, accomplishing even more than what the original man did, but there are some other sides to the story. In an interview, Max talks about how winning all the awards had been great and it will be in the coming future, but he had to pay a heavy cost for it. It's truly incredible, not only for me but also for my whole family, because they also had to live for me. My dad was away a lot, probably cost the marriage, and also my sister. She missed me. She missed her dad because my dad was always with me. When Max was young and only starting out, his father would make him practice in pouring rains to master the slippery grounds. In freezing temperatures, when even his hands won't work, Max was made to stay out in those ice-cold temperatures and practice his go-karting. He had no other option other than just to be the best. Imagine the amount of pressure he has been in for so many years.
Max, what's happened?
No, it's just unfair. I'm leading, he wants to pass, he pushed me, I push him back, and after he pushed me off the track. It's not fair, eh?
Thank you, Max.
All his life revolves around karting and racing, in all kinds of weather, in all kinds of physical or mental states. He is like a kid who knows nothing else. He was only 3 when he went go-karting, can you believe that? Rumors also say that Max has never been able to get into a serious relationship, partly because he never wanted to disappoint his father by not taking go-karting seriously enough. He's 27 and has not experienced a single healthy relationship. These darker sides of Max's life can only be seen in a few of his interviews where he is really off guard. Now that the 2024 season is just around the corner, people are looking sharply inside of Max Verstappen, the face of Formula Car racing, and they have started noticing what had never been seen by anyone. There are so many things that seem fishy about this winning racer, and share with us in the comments section if you have noticed something about him too.